Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our viewers. Good morning to our listeners. Uh, Thank you for all of you who have joined us today live, and those of you who are always returning to hear us speak about accounting, tax, business strategies, and entrepreneurship overall. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, please put in the chat, hands up, thumbs up, anything, so we'll know you are new. We really welcome you with open arms. Thank you so much for joining. I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe and like the channel that you are listening or watching us on. We really love your support, and it's the best way to help us reach out to more people and help them learn the information that we are providing. So make sure you are following, liking, subscribing as it's related to the platform you are listening and watching. Just a quick intro. My name is Marie Terosian. I'm a certified public accountant and a chartered global management accountant, an experienced auditor and a CFO. I'm the creator of Valuation MT methodology, which I use specifically to help business owners that have reached their first million to get to 10 million and more. I am also the author of two books. One of them is an ebook. It's called the Business Owner's Guide to Operational Accounting, and I'm going to put that link in the chat soon. And the second one is the Complete Guide to Business Growth, and that's available on Kindle for purchase. And a quick update, and I have some great news. I recently became a Grant Cardone licensee, and I'll be using some of his materials to be able to teach and coach business owners that I'm working with. So I'm super, super excited about this. Woohoo!
Yes.
Yay! So I've been actually just to tell you guys, this is not a new thing. I've been, blessed with learning from Grant and being his, having him as my mentor, part of his accelerator program for the past year, and it just made sense that I go ahead and teach. I love coaching and teaching. It just made sense for me to join him as a licensee. And of course, as always, good morning, Pedro, my featured guest, my friend, Pedro Gonzalez, CPA.
Good morning. Good morning, Marie. Good morning to everybody, the listeners, the viewers. Good morning. Today is an awesome day.
Woo!
Yes. So, Pedro Gonzalez, so you're CPA and business and tax strategist. We help our clients with focusing at least on three very strong fronts, which is your taxes, minimizing your taxation, improving cash flow, and developing strong exit strategies. Um, Quick updates that I have as far as the we have the ebook that we released on real estate tax strategies that continue to be well received. It has, like I said, a link that provides some training and followed by some newsletters that will continue enhancing your knowledge on real estate investing if you're interested in that in venturing into that arena. We have the S Corporation book that we're working. I continue removing things, adding other things, but I can assure you that in the end will be a good thing. And we're also, helping clients with the employee retention tax credit. There's still time. I do encourage if you do meet the minimum requirement to have an evaluation, just contact us. You can reach out to Marie. You can reach out to me. Uh, there's still a window of opportunity. The time, like I tell people, it's better to do it now than later. We don't know at any moment they remove this opportunity. It is a good amount of money that could be coming your way if you take action.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Pedro, and can't wait to get our hands on your new book when it's
Yes.
released soon.
Yeah.
And before we go on, I just remembered, and I wanted to share something that I found yesterday
Uh-huh.
while talking to one of our clients, is who's a Canadian citizen who's reestablishing himself in United States using an E2 visa, and we prepared his business plan and projections to submit with his visa application. And yesterday, He told us that his visa was approved. So I wanted to share that with our audience. It's just for me,
Yes.
it's so exciting because I feel like we made this massive impact and big difference for him and his family establishing here, and then we're also going to be able to support him moving forward with all his accounting and
Yeah.
tax needs as well. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited about that. As I wanted to also do a brief review of some of the episodes we've had in the past few weeks, actually a few months. We've been on since
Yeah. Yeah.
October 7th, 2021.
Yes.
So we've covered anywhere from, tax due dates, tax forms. We've talked about self-employment, record keeping. We've talked about partnership agreements, buy-sell agreements, valuations, how to trim down costs, financial analysis. Last week, we specifically spoke about employee tax retention credit. And then today, we wanted to kind of go a little off into entrepreneurship a little bit and kind of discuss key terms that we keep hearing over and over. Gig work. This was one of them. There's been like, it's been so overused the last, 2 3
Yeah.
years, I would say, right? So that's one of them, and we're going to jump into it now. And then the next one is private practice or practice. What does that word really mean, and why do we still use that? And the third one is every day I'm hustling. And what are we actually hustling for? Is let's go through that, okay? So to start off, I want to give you first the definition that I found about gig work, okay? And then we're gonna discuss this. This is gonna be cool. It says a definition of gig worker: a person who works temporary jobs, typically in the service sector as an independent contractor or freelancer. So how long can someone handle gig work? Like, how long can you do that without just being this independent contractor mindset, right? I feel like there's just
Mhm.
such a limiting belief as to thinking, well, I
Right.
do gig work. I'm, it's a gig
Mhm.
work. It's a side gig. It's a gig.
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
term from the old days when musicians used to have a gig. It was
Yes. 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 Yes.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So why, Pedro? Why do you feel like this could go on? How long can someone be a gig worker?
Well, as far as how long can they do it, that's to be, I guess, determined. It's up to the person. I guess the conversation that we when I the issue that I have with that is depends on what exactly is it that you're trying to accomplish with that
Ah,
gig.
yes.
Yeah, because you can have a gig work. I have nothing against it. Is that when somebody's trying to tell me that this is a business, but then you're calling it a gig.
Right.
When you look at the definition, and this is, you and I have, talked about many times that the meaning behind the words that we use, because there lies your mindset. A gig is something that is temporary. It's something that you do kind of on the side. It's not your primary focus. You're a full-time, let's say, attorney, and your gig can be that every Thursday night I go to a jazz bar and I play, I don't know, the piano. That's
Right.
my gig. That's what in we have known this term as a gig is something I do on the side.
Yeah.
It's not my This is not my livelihood. This is this something many times I do as an enjoyment, like something to relax, something on the side. I'm
Right.
not a musician. I'm an attorney. I just do this on the side as an
Right.
additional. Uh, and many times, do I make money with that? It doesn't matter. I do it because I enjoy playing piano. So
Right.
when we bring that into the environment that we're talking about, entrepreneurship, then I see a conflict because you cannot call it a gig and then also I'm an entrepreneur because it's too conflictive. When you look at what is an entrepreneur, you know what I
Right.
mean? And you look at the definition, I don't know if you have it, but I have one that says it's a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than
Greater risk.
financial risk in order to generate a
Income.
profit.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I've read that definition quite a few times, and you're right. It's about the mindset. The gig
Correct.
work is something is okay, do I do it temporarily until I'm at a certain point where I can now start a business?
Correct.
Am I testing the waters with this little thing that I like to do on the side until I figure out, okay, do I turn this into a real business? But yeah, to it's about the mindset. What are your intentions with the gig work, right? It's all about setting your intention. What is your intention?
Correct. Yeah, and that is what is going to determine. Again, I have nothing against gig work. I mean, you can have a full time job and do Uber
Right,
as a
right,
gig. I mean, something extra. I just happen to have some extra few hours, so let me get in the car and generate some additional income. But it's not my primary source of income. Now, you could also be the other way, and you can say, I'm going to turn this Uber thing into a business operation. Now, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm actually going to start even buying some other cars, and I'm going to pass it to my cousins, a couple friends, and we're going to create, in essence, as a fleet.
right.
We are going to be Uber drivers, but then we're going to be, we're going to maximize
Yeah,
it. We're going to turn this into an operation here. And so I'm here, the dispatcher. I have somebody, that to me, no, that is to me a business. You can see the intention of this individual is I want to generate profit. I want to maximize this opportunity that
absolutely.
something like Uber is doing and brought to our environment. And so again, that's as you can see the two different mindset. One is, it to me is the entrepreneurial mindset. Is there's an opportunity with Uber, I can see that I can make money, but I want to multiply. So instead of just me limiting to myself and my time, because you know that there's a limitation of time that we have. So then instead, I'm going to multiply. I'm going to get, five cars and or organize in essence a fleet, either because I'm
Right.
going to buy them or because I'm going to create a platform for other people that want to join Uber, but I'm gonna create something for them so Marie can join in, and and I'm gonna create this nice platform where then I'm gonna facilitate certain things for you, and then I'm creating as a business from where I derive some profits, and so that's what I when I'm talking to businesses or entrepreneur, I mean, when they say I'm an entrepreneur, but when you listen to them carefully, how they describe their business is in essence is a gig. It's a side thing that I'm doing, and I'm not in essence I'm not sold on this. I'm not diving into this to with passion. This is how they describe their business, and you
Right.
can tell that they're not really sold on it. I mean, this is almost like a I'm not so sure, and so how can you succeed on that? How are you going to present that to somebody else if you yourself are not sold on it?
Right, right. And also, I think from the intention wise, it's like, and I mean, a lot of us go through it, right? Like I was doing a side gig, when I was still a full time employee, and then I was really wanting to test the waters on consulting, and before I started the firm, and that was something I was doing on the side. But one thing was clear to me at some point is that okay, side gig jobs are going to be like one project here and there, and you're kind
Mhm.
of at the mercy of was there a project to do, and instead of having an actual business where you have specific clients that are with you there that you're helping them on a continuous basis, now it becomes a business. Now you have a service that you're providing versus just a one-time project. So that's I think every person that has a side gig that they're working on, at some point they need to make the decision of that, okay, am I taking this seriously enough to move on and create the business that I'm envisioning, or do I just want to continue doing this? So it's a risk thing, like we talked about. Entrepreneur is taking this massive amount of risk versus a gig worker is just, hey, supporting my income with this little side gig, not
Right.
taking too much risk, and which is fine. But just you're not technically an entrepreneur. You're just,
Yeah.
at that point, you're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur when you actually turn your side gig into an actual business that is, and you're taking massive amount of risk. You could be taking a loan, you could be taking a credit to build this business. That's when you start becoming entrepreneur because your mindset is going to shift to something different.
Correct. And then you also have the issue of taxation. I mean, we have talked in
Right.
one of the prior episodes about hobby,
Yes.
and this is actually a big issue. You know what I mean? Because you talk about intention, and so that's how the IRS is going to analyze this. You have to see, they call it material participation. How, and it goes back to action. How much
Mhm.
time are you devoting into this business? Because if you have a full-time job, you have your W-2 income, and that is taking substantially a good chunk of the available hours in a day. That is your primary source of income. Now you're gonna claim that this gig is a business, so I'm self-employed and I'm also entitled to losses. Which then, if you're generating losses, then you could take those losses and offset it against your ordinary income and lower your taxes.
Right.
However, if you cannot prove that this is actual a business, it's not a gig. That's why you gotta stop this. And when you're in front of an IRS agent and telling them, this is a gig, oh well, then this is not or at least I'm gonna see if in fact it passes the test. Is this really a business that can be entitled to the business losses?
Right.
So there also is another danger. One is the mindset. Number two, the potential tax losses that might not be deductible because the IRS is going to challenge you that this is a hobby. Because when
Yeah.
you're going to look at the activity, you don't have a website, you don't seem to promote your business.
Right.
Because again, like you just explained, I mean, at one point you were doing consulting work on kind of on the
Mhm.
side.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be hard to demonstrate that this side business is as relevant as the one that I'm doing on the daytime, which is really what brings the money. This is my foundation as far as my finances. This is an additional supplemental income to what I already have. It helps me cover a gap or something like that. Well, that's not entrepreneurship. And so if you're gonna, to be able to pass a test, you have to show that you are actively involved, as active as another business. Doesn't mean you can have multiple businesses, but you have to demonstrate that I'm actively involved in these different businesses, um, to be able then to treat it as such.
Right. Exactly. And then, of course, when you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, there's the running the business portion that you got to prove. You have a business you're running. It's operations that you're managing,
Yep.
other than just providing this little service on the side. So there's a very big difference between the two. Absolutely.
Yep.
So all right. So then let's kind of go through the definition of having a private practice, and I pulled it up here. The work, it says, a private practice, the work of a professional practitioner, such as a doctor or lawyer who is self employed. That's a practice. So, why do law firms and tax firms or other, not like us, but tax firms call themselves a practice? Why do they still do that? They're
I don't
not
know.
self employed, they
I
are a firm, they're a business.
Correct.
They
No,
have multiple partners sometimes. Why
yeah,
do we still say practice? We're not practicing, we're doing.
we're doing exactly. No, this is something that I have had even my long conversation with other professionals in this. To me is, again, you can call yourself a practice. Go ahead. What I mean. To me, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
If you're operating as a business, you're very very diligent about your revenue generation, your cash flow, your marketing, and then okay, call yourself a practice. My concern is again the mindset. I mean,
Yeah.
at practice, we're not practicing anything. I mean, we're doing law, we're doing accounting, we're doing medicine, we're doing. So to me, is that you have a business. Doesn't matter if it's just you as a solopreneur, or you have a partnership or a corporation where you have other associates, and joining efforts to better serve your clients. But in the end, you should be able then to treat this as a business. This is a
Mhm.
business operation where I provide, accounting and tax or consulting services.
Right.
Or I analyze my revenue. I have a revenue strategy. I have a marketing strategy. I have, this is a business. I mean, if somebody were to ask you about your services, you should be able to have a marketing presentation about, your 2 minute speech, presentation, elevator pitch. You should have that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just like any other business. No, I'm gonna sit here. I'm an attorney, so I need to. Come on. I mean, you have something to offer that is unique, and it solves a problem. Either be because you're a personal injury, you
Hmm.
are a whatever the practice that you have, the business that you have. It could be that you're a consultant, like in your case, you're doing consulting services to help entrepreneurs. I mean, you have your elevator pitch. I mean, how to take you from point A to whatever. I mean, that is your how you make yourself different. That's why you
Right.
cannot be calling yourself a practice. You're a business that is helping other businesses grow and achieve goals. Mine is not a practice. I'm here is to help out my clients lower their cash flow, in essence, achieve their financial goals. If I were to summarize
Right.
it very short, is to achieve financial goals. And I use then what? Improvement of cash flow, lower taxation, and developing exit strategies. And
Right.
so that's my business. And I go there and I have to analyze my productivity, and how can I continue enhancing the services as also as the economy evolves and as the industry evolves. I have to evolve with that. So that's it. That's it. I mean, I have an issue with that, the use of practice because of that. I think it changes your mindset. I've seen a lot of, especially a lot of CPAs that tend to be very passive
Hmm.
because I'm here in the practice. You know what I mean? I don't know. It kind of irritates me. It's like we're not practicing.
And I find it interesting that the way they explain it here is like professional practitioner.
Correct.
What
Yeah.
is practitioner?
Yes, it's something has been used for so long, and I know we continue using it.
It's
But what
like,
is a practitioner? Somebody
what
that
does that
practices,
mean? Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. Like, what does that mean? It seems like so outdated to say a practitioner, whether it's a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, a practitioner.
A
I don't
practitioner,
know. It just seems like very, just not appropriate for the time that we're living right now. And
right?
we keep saying that about ourselves would just be diminishing our ability and our
Yeah.
impact to the world that we're making. So, so to
I mean,
all of you
and
out there, professionals who
yeah,
have your own firm, your uh, you know uh, medical offices, do not call yourselves practitioners. You are a doctor, you're a lawyer, you
yeah.
are helping.
I don't want a surgeon to practice on me.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm running out of battery here.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
but
Before I
anyways,
lose you.
I don't want or an attorney. If I, God forbid, I have to go to a court or something to practice. I want him or her is to take the case and in essence to win it. You know what I mean? I need somebody that is confident about his or her services. So that is the issue that I have with practitioners. I mean, I'm willing to listen to any other people's view. If somebody wants to comment on this, I'm willing to listen and to see other people's perspective. But my concern with practitioner is that, you know what I mean, when like for example, when people go to play sports and they're practicing. Now I understand you should practice as you're going to play, but we go to, when people are playing sports and they go to have a practice session, we are practicing at that moment, so then when we go to the game we execute what we already practiced. So I don't know, that to me has been the issue with practitioner. I guess I'm now all by myself. Marie has left the building. So in that case, what are we going to talk about? Anyways, another updates. Well, taxes. The tax season, the tax deadline, April 15th. So don't forget about it. It's today's the last day of March. April 1st coming up. Hey, there's Marie. She's coming back. She left me there, and I'm rambling. I'm rambling.
No rambling. You were holding the fort down for me while I figure out what just happened. I plugged the cable back. I was like, oh goodness, I totally probably messed up everything, but I'm glad
But
everything was still working.
this is
Thank
real.
you.
This is there's no script. This is,
Exactly.
Marie leaves the building. She is like, this is two CPAs having a nice conversation, and you never know what happens.
Yeah, and it's it's about teamwork. You holding the fort while I figure
Yeah,
things out, and
yeah,
also this is how life happens, right? Things go
yeah.
wrong all
That's
the
it.
time. You're just gonna
That's it.
not panic. We're
Yeah.
gonna come back and just do what we do. Oh, we have Takrisha today. I just noticed. Hi, Takrisha. Thank you for joining me today.
Yes. How is she doing?
How are you today? Feel free to continue, responding in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat as
Yeah.
often as I can.
But yeah,
So
I'm open to other people's view. That's my view on the word practitioner. Is that to
yeah,
me that practitioner can create a deficiency in the mindset because again, and I have seen it. The reason that why I have an issue is because I have seen it when I talk to other professionals, especially CPAs, and I can see it when they describe their business as a practice and not, for example, not wanting to market, to
right.
advertise, to help their clients with additional services because after all, I'm in practice of it's like, what do you mean? I mean, this is a service that could help your client.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why not call them and tell them, listen, you might be you are you aware of this? Is it possible? No, but then I'm selling. So what? I mean, we're all selling. I mean, we all need to, you know what I mean?
I mean, if we think that, and this is what Grant says too, and since as a 10x licensee, I can pretty much share
Yep.
all of his nuggets. What he says is that if you believe that that's going to help your client, it is your duty to
It's
make
your
sure
duty.
you tell them
Yes.
about it. So forget
Yes.
about the selling part. It's about you really are driven by helping your client. So it is your duty and your job to make sure that you tell them there is
Yes.
this benefit to them.
Exactly.
So that's super duper important to remember as as CPAs, accountants, bookkeepers,
Yes.
lawyers, to let them know if there's an opportunity for your client to benefit from a service or something that has come up. You should most definitely let them know. Same as, let's say, if you're a doctor, and I would think that if I was on some certain medication, if my doctor said, "Hey, there's something better that's gonna have less side effects," I would want him to tell me.
Exactly. I mean, I want my doctor
Hello.
to warn me that there's an alternative that is even better than
Yes.
the one I already prescribed to you a year ago or something like, hey, Marie, by the way, a better, whatever is better. It's
Yeah.
better for you. So am I gonna leave Marie on that because Marie has not called me? Marie has. So you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Is this passive? And that to me is what I seen when people using that word practice. It's almost like I'm here. If Marie needs me, she'll call me.
Right. Right.
And
Exactly.
when I'm already
Exactly.
aware that there's something out there better for her, and like you said, yeah, that's a great way to put it. It is my duty for me to pick up that phone and at least advise her, listen, there's this alternative for you. Am I going to generate income from that? Most likely, yes. So
Right.
what? I mean, I'm
But this
helping
is
solving Marie a pain,
exactly.
bringing her a solution, and so I don't understand the again that bottom line that's my issue with practice.
Awesome. And then the last thing we wanted to kind of cover was, what is the meaning of hustling? Because we hear this word all the time. And again,
Yeah,
I pulled up the definition here.
good. Yeah,
Um, One of them says, force someone to move hurriedly or unceremoniously in a specific direction. They hustled him. That's one way. Another one, busy in movement and activity. So in this situation of like here, what we're talking about in the context of entrepreneurship, every day I'm hustling, kind of part of that song as well. It's great to be active and busy, right? But
yeah,
what is the impact of that active and busy? Are we just being busy for the sake of being busy, or are we being busy and active for a specific intention? Is it for a specific end goal that we're
Mhm.
hustling
Yeah,
towards?
yeah, yeah.
Right. So I think I think sometimes it gets overly used, and it's a side hustle, hustling, and all of that stuff. But then, what is the end goal?
Yeah, yeah. No, you're
Right.
right. I mean, you're right. And then again, it goes back to what we've been discussing about the mindset. What is your intention, your goal? What are you achieving with that hustle? The
Right.
word itself is not the issue. It can be confusing because you hear people, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. Um, oh my goodness, you will not believe how busy I am. But then, how is that busyness, like you said, helping you achieve your goals? Because I can assure you, and there has been tests done. This is not just me. There's tests out there done about productivity. With all of the tools that we have available, we should be way ahead of we should be like dominant in the whole world about technology production. The GDP should be the what I mean, but we're not. Actually, our productivity now is actually less
Yeah.
than back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. When it makes no sense. How can that be when we have all of these tools at our disposal? We get apps. Our phones are loaded with apps. So how
Yes.
can it be? Because we're busy. Yes, we're busy, but
Yeah.
is that busyness helping us achieve our financial goals?
Right. Absolutely. So is it busy watching TV for 4 hours, 5 hours a day? Is it busy playing games 5, 6 hours a day? Or
And
maybe watching football or
uh,
all these other things that just waste hours of time, and then we can complain about, well, we haven't achieved anything, things are not working out, all these other things. So it's all about the person's duty. Like when you're hustling, let's make sure you're hustling for the right goals.
correct. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, when it
Awesome.
comes to business, you ought to have that mindset. I mean, you get, in essence, you put your armor on and you go to battle. I mean, you have no time to go and get distracted, because if you get distracted, I'm sorry for the expression, but you'll be blown out. You'll be, what I mean. If you were in the middle of a war zone,
Yeah.
you cannot get distracted, because if you look to the side and start looking at something else, you're out.
Yep.
And so, if you were to take that mentality to your office and you say, listen, I have no time to talk to you right now, I need to focus, you will see the amount of product. I mean, you'll go, 10, you'll go 20 times, you know what I mean? Because you're so driven into, no, I
Yes.
have to achieve this goal. I really don't have time to look at this. My phone beeped. And every time the phone beeps, it's not the beeping. It's that I open that, and I can assure you, Marie, that you open and you saw that email, and then you go into something else, something else,
Oh,
something
yeah.
else. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes goes away, and they goes 15 minutes away. Now you get back to your mindset to get. Oh, where was I? Yeah,
Yes, yes, of course. That's totally. It happens, yeah. And so what something that I do, and I hope that it might be helpful to others as well, is that I do schedule focus time, and whenever needed, I actually put the phone completely on silent because I don't want anything bothering me. Even the watch, I put that one on silent too, because if I really need to produce, I cannot have distractions. I recall, as a CAO and a CFO back where I was working, I could get called into meetings like almost all day, every day. And then by the time it was time for me to sit down and get work done, I'll be like, oh my God, over half my day is gone. And I don't know if I should have been in this meeting. So sometimes you could also pull, like you could be working for someone, but make sure your time is being used well, because sometimes you may not be necessarily needed in a meeting, but they drag you in there because they just need to bring a whole bunch of people. So really be cognizant of what you're getting pulled into, because I could tell you that there were some meetings at some point I had to say, do I actually have to be in this one? Is there anything specifically related to the
exactly.
areas that I cover: financial, payroll, HR,
Correct. Correct.
IT? Is there anything in this area you will be discussing that I need to be in this meeting for? If not, I have 5 departments to run.
Exactly. No, you're right. I mean,
Just-
even just those simple analysis you just did there, it will improve your productivity tremendously, because then you will harness all your energy towards those things that truly will help me achieve my goal. What is your goal? And then
Mhm.
driving all that energy towards that, and you'll see that you'll go farther ahead than you're dominant. Your sector, your department, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One thing that I also liked about, and I'll end with this, with Brian Tracy. One something that he used to say, or I'm sorry, not to use it. He still says it, that even as an employee, you should have the mentality of I am the president of my corporation. And said, well, Marie, you work for XYZ company. Yeah, but I am my own company. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so having that mentality, even as an employee, will tremendously improve your productivity, your income level, and you will achieve higher statuses in your business.
Absolutely. So, guys listening, and those of you watching us, don't hustle for no reason. Hustle for the right reasons. Use your time productively, and make things happen. So we are at the top of the hour already. We're just a little bit over, but as always, guys, we really want to be. We were very thankful for joining us today. And I will leave you with as always, with the quote from motivational speaker Jim Rohn: "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I hope that we are the 2 of the 5 people you're spending your time with, learning and growing your business. Until next week, we wish you a wonderful week. Have
Wonderful.
a
Take
good
care.
one. Bye.